So we are starting with operations of polynomials, which means we're going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying polynomials, not dividing yet. So our unit learning target, which I want you to write at the very top, says I can use my exponent rules. So that handbook that we made, you're going to need from now until probably the end of the year. To add, subtract, and multiply polynomials. So this is for the whole unit. This is what we're going to be doing for the next week and a half, 2 weeks. We have 1 month and 3 days until spring break.
What day is it?
I'm going to Disney. I got a countdown. I'm ready.
What? It starts on May 10th.
Go. Children. Spring break is at the end of March. If you don't know when the end of March is, I'm sorry. It's been the end of March for the past 14 years of your life. You're out on March 10th. It's a Friday. I have to come to school. You don't. He made a mistake. He made a mistake. I'm going to just mark all over your face.
I am going to just like,
Alright, so today's learning target is, oh my sweet potatoes, I'm tired of talking to you. Tired of talking to you. This is why we can't talk about anything outside of math. Alright, so I can add and subtract polynomials is what we are doing today. Get it together. You exist in a confused state. No one is surprised by this. Alright, so what does the word poly mean? More than one. So polynomials have more than one term. And there are 3 types, well, 4 types really of polynomials. There's monomials, binomials, trinomials, and then polynomials. What does the word mono mean? Awesome. What does the word bi mean? And tri? So monomials have how many terms?
2.
Monomials. 1. Binomials.
2.
Trinomials.
3.
And polynomials is anything above that. And we've talked about terms since the beginning of school year. They are separated between a plus and minus sign. So the first thing you need to do on polynomials is see how many terms you have. Terms are separated by a plus and minus sign, not a multiplication sign or division. Are we ready?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, open. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the different kinds of polynomials. You guys super excited? So a monomial has how many terms? 1 term. And we're going to write some examples. Give me an example of 1 term. Wow. That's a term. Look at us go. We've been talking about terms since September. Another one could be 4x squared. Because there's 1 term. 2x cubed. You could also do b divided by 4. Ah, potatoes.
The days that I do remind her this still happens. Gosh, you know what?
You should just plug it in for me, and then I don't have to think about it.
Well, you get mad when I touch your stuff.
But is that ever true?
Every time I touch your stuff,
You're a liar.
I am not a liar.
You are.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's on my desk.
Alright, that's an example of a monomial. Easy peasy. Alright, how many terms is a binomial?
2.
And terms are separated by a plus and minus sign. So who thinks they are super great? Allah, tell me.
X minus y.
X minus what sign? What?
X minus
Y or 5?
y.
Okay. Take a point. Curtis. X plus. Let's do X plus 5. Take a point.
Do they have to have different?
Yep, the variables have to be different. Because if they are the same, you can combine them. Yes, Chastity? Terms are separated by a plus or minus sign. Do you see how these are separated by a plus or minus sign? And you have 2? Jay, can you give me another one?
Y minus 7.
Y minus 7. And we're going to go real fancy, and we're going to say 4x squared plus 2x. Those are different because terms have to have the same variable and the same exponent. Do these have the same exponent? No, they're different. Alright, how many terms does a trinomial have? 3 terms. Say it louder.
4x plus 2y minus 3x.
Or just minus 3. Either of those work. Take a point. Curtis.
2x plus 1y minus 6.
Take a point. Who can do it with an exponent in there? White Justin.
2x to the third plus 4y to the second minus 3.
Take a point. So those are trinomials. Easy peasy. Look at us go. Alright, so a polynomial, excuse me, is greater than 3 terms. I'm going to write one for you, and it's going to be long, so I'm going to write it as a diagonal. B cubed plus B squared plus B minus 3. That is a polynomial. We have more than 3 terms. They all have different exponents, so they are not like terms, even though they are the same variable. A non-example of a polynomial would be this. What is that?
Function.
An exponential function, what we just did, right? Also, a non-example would be this. Can't have that. Those are non-examples. The variable has to be on top. Yep.
What about like x plus x?
You could combine those and get 2x, and that would be a monomial. So that's a good question. Alright, are we ready? Now, the next part of what we're going to do, close this floppy. Let's make a note that says terms are separated by what? What are they separated by?
Plus term.
Plus or minus sign. No one needs a play-by-play of what you're writing. You're killing me today, son. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Alright, so Next it says, how do you find the degree of a polynomial? What do you think degree means? What is a degree? Just in general, what's a degree? Temperature. And how do we write degree? Like if I wanted it to say, okay, so this is the degree, right? So the degree is the exponent. Awesome, take a point. So when you are looking for the degree, you look for the, yes, you can go over today. You look for the highest exponent. So for your degree, you look for the biggest exponent. Now, what do you think leading coefficient means? We know what the coefficient is. That's the number in front of the variable. But what do you think it means by leading coefficient? The biggest one, so like the biggest number? Are you sure?
No, the number. There's more than one coefficient.
There might be more than one. So if I said 17x squared plus 34x, how do you know which one is the leading coefficient? Well, the biggest one is 34. The one with the exponent. Take a point. So the one with your highest exponent is your leading coefficient. So we're going to call leading coefficient LC. So it's the number out front of biggest exponent. I just randomly found it up here. I don't know where it came from. Oh, okay. Okay, appreciate that. Alright, so open it up. So it says identifying the degree of a polynomial and the leading coefficient. Oh, I'm real sorry. So, what is the degree? What did we just write down right here? You were still able to look, genius. Biggest exponent. So, what is the highest exponent of our first one? 1. And what's the leading coefficient?
9.
That's all you do.
So the next one.
I'm a grown child, as opposed to a tiny child.
Yeah, no, but like, you're grown.
Like I'm a grown up, but I'm a child. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you move to
Miriam, don't play. Where should it be? Put it in your backpack. Alright, what is the highest exponent of this one? 2. And what is the leading coefficient?
2.
That's it. That's all you do. What is the highest, what's the degree of this, the third one? And what's your LC? That's it.
Why is it 2? Oh,
Because it's the number out front of the biggest exponent. Your biggest exponent is 3, the number out front is 2.
Oh.
Magic!
Well, I thought you just picked the biggest number. I just didn't follow the
No. That's why we wrote the number out front of the biggest exponent. We wrote that down. Remember? You guys were there.
This is why that was so question. You're so mean to me.
I'm not mean.
Can I ask the next
It wasn't like a Cameron question. It was like a serious question.
I'm sorry. How about that?
That's good.
How about you grow up and deal with it? Ah. I'm sorry. Curtis, tell me.
3 next?
Alright, so we have 3 is our degree.
Oh, it's 1.
Is it 1 or is it negative 1?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. That's it. That's all you do. Now, why is it -1 and not 15?
Oh, because it's the one that's minus sign.
Go. Take a point for your team. All right.
And I don't even get a point for that.
I was talking to Adriana.
Oh.
Also, I updated the points from the end of last week so you can see where your table is. We have until next week to see who wins.
Who's gonna win the House Cup? Armstrong wasn't even in the.
Gryffindor's winning? Awesome.
But we're behind by like a point.
We can do this. I mean, we
Armstrong
can.
wasn't even in the like original.
Yes, they are. They're in the 4th book.
Oh, I haven't read that. I'm talking about the movie.
They're in the 4th movie.
I haven't seen the fourth movie. I've only seen like the first second.
Then why are you coming at me with that nonsense? If you don't know your Harry Potter facts, don't come at me. I got this. All right. Me? You're right. I have no idea.
What happened?
You get a homework pass and maybe a free quiz grade.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna put my work.
Yeah.
I never used it.
All right. So, adding polynomials. Adding polynomials is the first thing that we're going to do today. It's super easy. You have to look for like terms. So, when you're doing this, you combine like terms. Let's write that out to the side. Now, like terms have to have what?
Same exponent and
Same exponent and variable. Take a point. So let's write that. Same exponent and variable. Same EXP and variable. So do x and x squared have the same exponent?
Yeah.
No, they don't. No.
they don't.
What about these two? Do they have the same exponent?
No.
Yeah.
Because one is not.
That has two. That has one. Those are not the same. Those are not like terms. Alright, so you see how there's a plus in the middle?
Yeah.
That means we're going to add. Now, you have to be very, 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 very careful of negatives. Let's write that down here. Let's write, watch out for negatives. It's like the alligator that's going to eat you.
What is going
I don't have room to write the word negative because I wrote so big because I got excited. So, I'll write it sideways. Alright, so open this. Now, I'm going to put circles around the ones that match up. Well, triangles, circles, squares. You can use your pencil to do the same thing. So, what matches up? We're going to start with the triangle. What matches up over here with 4x cubed? X cubed. So, what is 4x cubed plus x cubed? 5x cubed. Alright. Now, we're going to do 2x squared in a box. Now, do we have anything to match up with 2x squared? Is it a positive or is it a negative 5x squared? It's a negative, so put a box around the negative as well. So what's 2 plus negative 5? Negative 3. X squared. Do not change your exponents. You only change your exponents when you multiply or divide. Do not change those exponents. Does everybody understand me? Alright, we're going to put a circle around 6x. What do we have to combine with 6x? And what's 6x plus x? Do we have anything to combine with that negative 4?
No.
So we bring it down. That's it. That's all you do.
Wait, no, we don't.
No, it's an expression. You leave it. An expression does not have an equal sign. An equal sign has an equal sign. I mean, an equation has an equal sign. Alright, ready for the next one? Alright, so let's combine. Do we have anything to combine with our negative 2x squared?
Positive 3.
Oh, should we have combined the higher exponents first? Probably. So let's do our x cubes. What is negative x cubed plus x cubed? 0. So those cancel. Put a line through those. Are you going somewhere? Because we're still taking notes. Sit. What's negative 2 plus 3?
Negative 1. No, great.
Okay. Now, do we have anything to combine over here with 3x?
Yes.
No.
No.
Y'all see any x's over here? Just plain x? So what do we do with them?
Minus 12.
Do we have anything to combine with our minus 12? What do we do?
Put it down.
That's it. That's all you do.
I guess it's the same thing for subtraction.
It is the exact same thing for subtraction. Except what do? Man, look at us go. Take a point for your team. So you really have to pay attention to negatives over here. Very, 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 very much so. Alright, so what can we combine with 5y squared?
Y.
Now, it's 5 minus a negative 1.
So just 6.
It's 6y squared. So make sure you pay attention to your negatives. Pay attention to your negatives. Does everybody understand the words coming out of my mouth? Alright, do we have anything to combine with 2y? So what's 2 minus 4? Negative 2y. Alright, do we have anything to combine with our negative 4? Now, what do we have to watch out for? So it's negative 4 minus a negative 3. Who knows what that is? Allah? Take a point. Alright. We have done 3 together. I want you to practice example 4 without me. You only need like 45 seconds. And then we're going to go over it, and then you're going to get your homework. Super excited. Austin, did you do your homework last night? Will you write it on a sticky note for me, son? Okay. Remember that love that keeps you safe in this room? You're running out of it.
How much I got?
Yes, please. All right. Did y'all get that? Why did I change this? All right, so 2c cubed doesn't have anything to combine with, so we bring it down. 5 minus 3 gives me 2. Now we need to bring down this c. I changed it to a positive because a negative times a negative is a. And then negative 8 minus 1 gives us negative 9. So make sure you write watch for what? What are we watching for? Negatives, because those are the alligator that wants to eat us.
Yeah, he does.
Alright, so homework tonight is a worksheet. No homework tonight.
Yeah.